In this video, we are going to explore the possibilities of the graph visualization feature of Oracle Graph Technologies. GraphViz is a single-page web application which enables interactive exploration and visualization of property graphs. It takes PGQL queries as an input, which is the SQL-like query language supported by GraphViz, and renders the result visually. A rich set of client-side exploration and visualization features can reveal new insights into your linked data. But how does it work? GraphViz has a web interface and REST endpoint executing PGQL queries in the server. The in-memory analytics server, PGX, enables you to perform high-speed analytics on a graph loaded into its memory. When using PGX to run PGQL queries, the graphs which are visible to GraphViz are graphs that are either specified before the PGX server starts up in the preload graph section of the pgx.conf file, or loaded dynamically at runtime by any PGX client application and then made available for all sessions via the graph.publish API. Now let's see how you can use GraphViz to visualize a preloaded graph. The principal point of entry for the application are the query editor and the graph lists. Upon start, the graph list will be populated with the graphs loaded in PGX. Select one graph for the list to run the queries against it. The query editor allows you to write visualizable PGQL queries. Once the query is ready and the right graph is selected, click the Run button to execute the query. When queries are successful, the graph visualization is displayed. You can now interact with the vertices and edges. You can move vertices around by clicking and dragging them. The buttons in the bottom right corner allows you to change this component between two modes, graph manipulation and zoom move. The graph manipulation mode allows to execute actions that modify the visualization, which I will describe next. The zoom move mode allows you to zoom in and out as well as to move to another part of the visualization. The button right next to this mode, pan to center, resets the zoom and returns the view to the original one. There is an additional mode called sticky mode that is independent to the graph manipulation and zoom move modes. By enabling this mode, you will cancel the action of dragging the nodes around. You can right-click on a vertex or an edge to get information about its properties. Drop removes the selected vertices from the visualization. Expand retrieves a configurable number of neighbors or hops of the selected vertices. Focus, similar to expand, retrieves a configurable number of neighbors, but additionally drops all other vertices. If you select multiple vertices, you can collapse them into a single one using the group button. Now all these actions can be executed from the tooltip on the right, along with undo and redo, which allows you to go back and forth between your actions. There's also a reset button which brings you back to the original state after the query. Now let's take a look at how you can modify some parameters of the visualization in the settings window. There are three settings tabs, which are General, Visualization, and Highlights. In the General tab, you can adjust the number of hops, which is the configurable number of hops for the expand and focus actions. You can choose to truncate the labels if they exceed the maximum visible label length, which you specify right here. Show Label on Hover shows the label on hover or not. Display Graph Legend will display the legend or not. Now, if we go to the Visualization tab, that is where things get interesting. First, you can toggle between a light and a dark mode. Edge Style lets you choose between straight or curved edges. Edge Marker selects between arrows or no edge marker. Similar Edges selects between keeping similar edges or collecting them. Page Size specifies how many vertices and edges are displayed per page. Layout selects between different layouts, and each layout will give you a unique set of parameters for that layout. Vertex Label selects which property to use as a vertex label. Vertex Label Orientation selects the relative position of the vertex label, and Edge Label selects which property to use as edge label. Highlights are customization options that allow to modify the appearance of edges and vertices. It can be applied based on conditions or filters on single or multiple elements. A filter can contain multiple conditions on any property of the element. Interpolate allows you to customize your data based on the size of a property of your choosing. For example, I can choose to make the size of vertices grow proportionally to how large their betweenness score is. The visual customization can be the following. You can customize a vertex size, color, icon, label, image, as well as adding animations. You can also customize edges, width, color, label, style, as well as animations. You can actually export the highlights by clicking Save, which will create a JSON file containing your highlights configurations. Next time you visit GraphViz, you can restore the highlights of the save session by clicking on Load. We have just covered all the basics of GraphViz. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy analyzing your data with this powerful tool.